The Helldivers 2 community has been rapidly uncovering new, unreleased content in the game files since the game's release. Let's take a look at some of the latest leaks that have come out over the past week. Most of these come courtesy of the Helldivers Leaks subreddit, so major kudos to everyone over there. Let's dive in. First, we have the Colony Rover. This looks like a heavy terrain vehicle of some sort that could be driven by players at some point. We've seen the ruined remains of rovers on some missions, but we have yet to see a functional or undamaged one. Allegedly, it does have driving properties and animations in the game files, but we have no clue what the plan is for this. If I'm being totally honest, I don't exactly know how this would be implemented. None of the maps are too big, and this thing doesn't seem to have any weapons on it, so I'm not really sure what the purpose would be for this, but it is interesting and it could be something to be fun to see at some point. Personally, I would love to see something more akin to the Halo Warthog with a turret on the back, but that's just me. Next, we have a new Illuminate enemy type, the Mage. Allegedly, the Mage uses magic, can dodge, has an ability called Void Flame, and will trigger other Illuminates when it spots players. Now, the Mage is going to be considered a Tier 2 enemy, so this will most likely be something akin to a Berserker from the Automatons, or maybe even akin to something like a Brood Warrior or Brood Commander from the Terminids. So I suspect this will be a ranged attacker with some type of energy-based attack, and I think this will be pretty cool. Looks nice. Can't wait to see him in the game. Next, we have another Illuminate troop, also Tier 2, and this guy is only referred to as quote-unquote Guy. So this enemy is a ranged and melee unit. They use a hybrid staff projectile weapon. They can one-hand the staff and use it as a melee weapon, or they can two-hand the staff and use it as a projectile weapon. Now, apparently, they don't spawn in with their staff, and they have to pick it up first. So I don't know if that means they'll be laying around, or they have to go to a certain location to grab them, or if there's just some sort of cooldown, basically, from when they spawn in to when they can attack. But I don't know what it'll look like, but it does sound interesting. Next, we have the Illuminate Warp Gate. And this isn't anything crazy. This is just the Illuminate equivalent of a bug hole or an automaton dropship. It does look pretty interesting, but it's nothing new to the game mechanics. Now, I did hear a rumor that it'll function slightly differently in the sense that it will continue to spawn new troops until it's destroyed, unlike the bug holes or the dropships. If that's the case, that will be a really interesting game mechanic, and that could be pretty hectic. Now, the Illuminate do have a reputation in the first Helldivers game for being pretty difficult, so that may make sense. Finally, we have the Hive Buster, and this will be a new objective type for bugs. Now, similar to the Ore Vein objectives, where players will have to reach a certain location and then call down a objective-based stratagem, this will be something relatively similar. Allegedly, players will have to head to locations where there are terminated hive cores down beneath the ground. Players will then call in the Hive Buster and will have to defend it while it drills into the earth and then launches a nuclear warhead deeper into the earth to take out those terminated cores. This does sound pretty interesting, although I do wonder if it'll be something that's just kind of similar to a reskin of the Ore Vein objectives. Regardless, my guess is that they will change the dynamic of those types of objectives a little bit, but either way, I'm interested to see how this plays out. Now, overall, we are continuing to get a lot of Illuminate leaks, so it looks like Arrowhead is working hard on them. If you're wondering when we might get them and why we haven't seen them yet, be sure to check out my other video on that. That's all we had for this week. Let me know what you guys think. Which one are you most excited of? I know I'm excited personally for the Illuminates. Can't wait for them to be added to the game, but let me know what you think. Also, what other things would you like Arrowhead to add to the game? Now, since the game's been released, Arrowhead has been constantly releasing new updates that have really changed the dynamic of the game in some way or another, and that's just been in the last 2 months. So I'm really curious to see what we have in the next coming year or so even. Let me know what you guys think, what you would like to see, and thanks for watching.